Okay, I knew it was one of the boots.
Right?
Just always wears the same shirt.
What's that?
Always wears the same shirt.
Yeah, I know. He's a small, short guy. What?
I guess he has to make his intro.
Oh, yeah, he's dick. Some SDE.
I'm nervous.
Why?
I've never, been in one.
Oh, it's nothing. You're just going to listen to a bunch of propaganda.
Go ahead and put that up for me, please.
What?
Put it up.
This is perfect. You can't do it.
No, I guess they're on our side. I hear a chant over there. It is starting ugly already.
I can hear, but I can hear what they're saying.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
Or they could be over there, making fun.
No, I don't think so. She's wearing a Gulf of Mexico shirt. Stay salty. So I don't think so. And she has a red and green card. Oh boy.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. On Saturday, Civics Minded Poster. Look, really, it's great to be back here in spring. See my parents caught a place, so just, okay. Kind of where it all started. Unfortunately, my family was drawn out of my district, in the last redistricting, but this is still home, so it's good to be here with y'all. Goal today is update on what we've been in Washington for the last year or so. Yes, okay. That's much better. That's better? Yeah. Give you an update on what we've been up to in Washington the last year or so. It's not really, this isn't a campaign event, it's an actual official event. So we'll spend a little bit of time on that. We'll do most of the questions, all right? Look, I'm going to start with where we started the campaign back in 2018, and that was made it all about flooding. And the second district, the first second district was probably the most badly hit after Harvey, by far, from the west, from the to Bear Branch area all the way to Lake Houston. And that was my promise back then. That's been my promise ever since. Probably got about $200 million in flood mitigation, federal funding, and earmarks throughout the last 7 years. This fiscal year alone, we have about 19 million worth. So it's not stuff that makes a lot of headlines, doesn't make for good slogans or really fun social media posts, but it is the stuff that actually matters because it saves lives and saves property. So, whether it was here, whether it was Montgomery County, whether it was the Lake Houston area, I mean, it's homes, businesses, it's memories, it's everything. And so that's why it's been my top priority, whether it's flood control infrastructure, drainage improvements, dams, spillway, reinforcement. We've actually delivered tens of millions to the district. I'm proud of that. And of course, the goal there is we don't want to be caught unaware like we were before, not caught unprepared. You got to prevent these kind of disasters because they are going to happen. Something's going to happen, but the question is are we ready for it? And so it's not flashy, but it does save lives. It's one of the things I'm most proud of because it doesn't matter if we're in the minority or the majority, you can still work within the appropriations process, and this is one place we've been very successful at. The big thing that happened at the beginning of the year, of course, is the working families tax cut. And it is just that. It was originally a big, beautiful bill, as you have to remember. But that doesn't mean anything. It made a lot more sense to rename it the Working Families Tax Cut Act because that's what it was. Probably because I really doubt most Americans were planning on their taxes increasing 3 to 5% just this December. I don't think most people were ready for that. You know, I don't think your average family of four paying about $4,000, $5,000 extra dollars in taxes. I don't think most people were ready for that. That would have been quite a surprise and quite an annoying one after 4 years of pretty steep inflation. You know, we're not going to go into a deflationary cycle, so don't expect prices to magically drop. They won't. And so on top of that, you get a tax increase? That wouldn't be sustainable. So as soon as the president was elected, we got to work. I mean, it was day in and day out, line by line, I think 5 or 6 committees actually doing the reconciliation bill. On Energy and Commerce, our job was to find the savings so that we could actually do the tax cuts that we wanted to do. We'll go into that. But the bottom line is we preserved lower tax rates for working Americans so that you didn't get surprised by that tax increase. Protected the child tax credit. That was an important one. And look, you just let families keep more of their money during inflationary time. Now, inflation is under control now, but like I said, we're not going to go into a deflationary spiral. Oh, the red card's back.
Oh, they are. Glad you know what this means.
Yeah.
How are tariffs not taxes?
Kingwood area.
Tariffs are
We're
taxes.
going to do questions. We're going to do questions.
Tax the rich.
We're going to do questions. I promise. I promise.
Like you did last time in Kingwood?
This is why we didn't do that many questions last
Give him
time.
the 10. Give him the 10.
The other thing that came in that bill was, so back in 2021, we actually made earmarks, I wouldn't say illegal, that's not the right word, but they were against the House rules for a while. We make the rules in the House and we can make them real or not. And so earmarks were for like a while, they were gone, remember? Because people were sick and I think they had the wrong idea too, of like what earmarks were used for. And people were sick of seeing money go to dumb projects that, in other districts usually that didn't make a lot of sense. But the reality is that earmarks, whether you call them earmarks or we call them community project funds, it's the only way for us as representatives to actually get you your taxpayer dollars back. And the way I do it as a representative is I only look at flood mitigation infrastructure. And if we can get something else that's infrastructure related, safety related, we'll do that. And there's plenty of that as it turns out. And somebody's working with local government to get that. It doesn't come from a bureaucratic Washington. It comes from the ideas of your local commissioners, Harris County Flood Control District, what it may be, and then we actually apply for that. But one thing, the bill that I put in back in 2021 was a bill that would get Texas paid back all the money we spent on border security over the years. And that finally made it into this last reconciliation bill. So Texas now gets $11 billion extra. That means battling fentanyl, that means battling human trafficking and battling crime in communities like ours. And so that was a really big win. $11.5 billion that's coming back to the state of Texas. And that's, how Texas uses that, I don't get to control it. But it's a really good, it's a huge win. I gotta give some folks in our delegation credit too. It was a really team effort. Sneak that by every other state. Because nobody likes when Texas gets the benefit of something up in Washington, trust me. They don't like that we're a huge delegation, and we've seen the results of that. The other thing we've been focused on these last few years as the border crisis really heated up, but also we saw how the president basically fixed the border crisis in about a minute with taking office. It doesn't mean it doesn't have the potential to take off again. We always said there's a border that's out of control and nobody's has operational control over it. That was never really true. The cartels have always had operational control over the border, and to some extent still do, although it's just not profitable for them anymore. Because without people just walking across like they used to be, well, they're not making about $13 billion a year. So that's good. Doesn't mean they're out though. They're a long way from being out. That'll take 20 years. So I've been focused on this for literally years. And, we're in a good moment when it comes to battling the cartels because you've got a different Mexican administration in now under President Sheinbaum that while is, yes, a successor of AMLO, very different when it comes to security matters. And obviously President Trump is putting a huge amount of focus on the cartels as well. Congress is lagging behind because nobody seems to care about this issue. They like to talk about it, nobody seems to actually do much about it. So we've got about a dozen pieces of legislation that are just in waiting that we've been developing over the course of many years, taking lead on this issue. And it's important because, especially because of the fentanyl issue. There's two reasons. Fentanyl kills tens of thousands of Americans every year, fair and count it, and up to 100,000 certain times. But also, you can't have your biggest neighbor and trading partner fall into a narco-terrorist state. You just can't. It's Colombia back in the 90s. And rather we act and say we're probably the most important foreign policy, from a foreign policy perspective, the most important country to us is Mexico. You can't have it fall into disarray. And it's on the brink. Like I said, there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic, more optimistic than before. Looking around the globe, it's a peace through strength mindset. Peace does not come from wishful thinking. It does come from strength and enforcement. And that's what we've been doing a lot of. So I'm going to leave it there. There's plenty of other things to talk about. But I think we'll probably go to questions soon. I mean, fundamentally, this past year's been about a lot of results. It's been one of the best work years, I would say, for us in a long time. Or at least for me, forever, for sure. And the politics is not so much fun, but the work has been more fun than ever. Because the work we do on the Intelligence Committee, feel free to ask about anything from any foreign policy question, any national security question. We've got pretty good insights into many of those. And we didn't get into what we want to do in the energy sector and how we plan on maintaining our energy balance throughout the world. Some good news there. And of course, healthcare questions as well. Happy to take. Those are the three major things that I do in Congress. Appreciate y'all being here. I don't know what you're.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So we took questions in advance, so I'll just ask the questions that we took in advance if that's okay. So this one has multiple questions on here. What are your plans regarding DHS? What is
water? I need some water.
What is your opinion? Yeah. What is your opinion on Sharia law? And what do you think of POTUS is second?
Start.
You want to do one question at a time?
Yes.
All right. So,
That'd be good.
opinions on DHS.
Okay, that's a very broad one.
I know.
Fine.
Okay, next question. Opinions on Look, there are more questions. We'll get more specific with it. I'm reading
About to flip this.
directly off of what was written here, so we don't have shouting out. What is your
I'm just gonna take more. I just didn't know.
Yes. What is your opinion of the Sharia law plank on the Texas GOP platform?
Plank?
What it looks like.
Too familiar with it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. Who asked the DHS question? You get a little bit more specific.
The Sharia law question is right. The DHS and Sharia law question is right. I had the Sharia law question.
I had it.
Okay. Look, Sharia law is fundamentally incompatible with American law, and to the extent to which it is, it cannot exist, if that makes sense. So as far as a platform,
Why is this a thing?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
The GOP platform is anti-Sharia law in Texas. So what is your opinion of that plank of the GOP platform in Texas?
I mean, like I said, Sharia law is incompatible with many parts of American law.
It's incompatible.
It's not
I couldn't
GOP or
understand you. I'm sorry.
It's incompatible with American law. Incompatible with American law in many aspects of it. So
Sharia law,
to the extent that Sharia law is
what
incompatible.
part of Sharia law is actually
So like an honor killing is not compatible with American law.
a threat to Texas?
You're not allowed to do an honor killing in America.
What
You can just
part
kill
of
on
Sharia
purpose.
law
We can do
is a
this.
threat to Texas?
Okay, I think I just answered that. To the extent that it's incompatible
So
with
what
American
do
law.
you think of NATO's foreign policy?
Why do you say that?
Yeah.
You want to get more specific with the DHS question? Because I don't know, it's too broad. What's my opinion of DHS? We should have it. I don't know. Give me a more specific question that you might have about DHS.
Okay,
This.
specifically, Sharia law is abuse to human beings.
Yep.
It's a threat. It's coming. Where?
Yeah.
It's coming eventually.
From our own people.
The point is this, it's abuse, it's against the law, it's against state laws. I understand supposedly that you represent theoretically Texans in the federal law. It's against state law as far as abuse.
Exactly. I mean, I already said I agree with that, right? It's incompatible.
We're not separation of church and state. It's gonna be religious. Of course, we're not having it.
Why is it
I mean, I
on,
agree
why
with
is it
you.
a
What's the
platform?
question?
Why is it a
What
plank?
I'm asking, as far as what are you doing to stop it from coming to Texas?
Well, I can't do it. The issues in Texas are very much stable. The law enforcement issues within Texas are not something there's no bill that I can pass. Right? The Sharia law, aspects of Sharia law already break the law. So they cannot happen. And law enforcement needs to take action.
How
That's
is
an
that not a
that's an
dog
executive
whistle?
branch function.
How is
It's
that
It's
not
something
a
the
dog
federal legislature
whistle?
has to do this.
Yes, it's a dog
Next
whistle.
question, and we want to get to as many questions as we can. We can't focus on just one, so I think he's
Yeah,
answered, so
no,
let's
this
move on.
is not something to deal with the federal.
In your
level.
newsletter, you did a good job of explaining the problems in Minneapolis. I have a question. What do you mean by Minnesota electeds having a responsibility to tone down rhetoric?
What do I mean by that?
Who's rhetoric? Yeah, who's rhetoric?
Where are you getting, are you quoting me? I'm just not sure I understand what you're talking about.
You said you're against the violence, but you didn't want to take Minnesota local officials are responsible for toning down the rhetoric.
Yeah, no, generally speaking, all of Minnesota officials are very left-leaning, and so are the protesters that are highly organized. When there's rhetoric out there, like they're putting out these kind of.
Well, you did vote for this. Yeah, there you go. You did vote for this.
Yeah, I mean, that's that kind of rhetoric isn't useful, right? It riles people up, makes them put themselves in very dangerous situations where they go and stick phones. And this guy in particular that you have on the picture there.
Yeah.
So that was the second time he was encountering law enforcement. The first time he went and broke their window, broke their taillights.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, right?
Why were you doing that at all?
Why not?
Why does DHS break car windows?
Here's a useful piece of information for
DHS
everybody.
breaks hundreds of car windows.
Don't get into a fist fight with cops while carrying a gun. It's a really bad
Second Amendment! Second Amendment! Yeah.
But you have to carry, they're saying you carry it responsibly. I don't carry my gun and go fight cops.
Second Amendment. You do not shoot somebody for carrying a gun.
It was an execution. Go ahead, take our picture.
So what is Congress doing to save or improve Social Security?
I can't carry it.
What is Congress doing to save or improve Social Security?
No, we need to do a lot more. Well, I know there's Democrats in the room, but if you guys had just let President Bush, remember him? If you just let him do his plan in 2004 instead of accusing him of throwing grandma off the cliff, your Social Security would be. I know. I'm just saying. I'm giving you a history lesson. Well, I'm not a dictator, my friend. I don't know. If we need to rewind.
You work for one.
Of what a congressman can do. I'm happy to do that, but because apparently you might need it. But I'm just saying, if you want to blame whoever for it, but
Everybody
there was an
but
actual
Trump,
plan
right?
in 2004 to fix this.
Release the cap.
What do you think?
What are you going to do?
Well, the first step, if you want to have a calm conversation about it, is you're not. Yeah, this isn't a. If everybody wants to have a conversation, you realize it won't be a conversation, right? So that's why we have questions one at a time. There's a whole process.
If you don't answer
If you
them.
want to have like an honest discussion about Social Security, which is the main driver of our debt, because it's on autopilot. We don't vote on it every.
Main driver of our debt.
Stop. If we have a, it is a main driver. Entitlement spending is the main driver of our debt. Social Security, Medicare. What do you think it is, sir?
I think.
Military,
Right?
Well, your math is wrong.
DHS.
Your math is wrong. The Defense Department is, it's not even a trillion. So let's say it's almost a trillion.
Tax cuts for the rich.
Entitlements are
Yep,
Tax
two-thirds
cuts for the
expended.
rich.
it's not an entitlement.
Security tax.
Oh, you want to tax your grandkids more so they can put it in your pocket?
Tax the rich.
Tax the rich now.
No, it's your kids.
It's not my kids.
Yes, it is.
It's the rich who aren't paying social security or
Okay.
whatever the.
That's right.
Raise your hand
That's
if you want to
right.
tax your grandkids more so they can put it in your pocket.
I want you to remove the cap.
That is what he said. The cap is tax is increasing taxes.
You are a very bright man.
I am right. I know exactly. What's the
You're very
cap?
bright, you're very.
What's the cap?
Why do you
What's the cap?
support that criminal in the White House?
What's the cap?
Yeah.
What's the cap currently?
I don't, what is it,
It's about that, right? So you just want to increase it to what? Is that not an increase
No
in your
cap.
kids and your grandkids?
No cap.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep, no cap. I like that.
So how much do you think you get out of that, and how will that pay for, do you want an increase in benefits as
I don't
well?
know, you studied it, you tell me.
I know, and what I studied is, if we had not made this a political issue that you want to make it, which is.
It is political.
Throwing granny off a cliff. The Social Security program would be completely solvent right now and be there for your grandkids, but because they didn't want to do that, the math is much harder and harder to even make work.
Oh, wow.
When you could back in 2004.
What are you doing now?
What I have to do, right?
Actually, our grandkids now, they're not taxing.
No, I'm not. I refuse to tax my generation more now in an era where
Tax
they're
the
objectively
rich.
more expensive than they were. That's not. They were objectively more expensive than they were when you were growing up, whether it's healthcare, education, or housing. So you want to
Thanks
tax,
to you
want to
guys.
tax everyone else more. That's not fair either.
Then why do we have
this
these tariffs? Why do we have these illegal tariffs?
Here's what I can do right now. All I can do is actually have an educated conversation with American citizens, and when American citizens want this solved, it'll get solved. Washington will actually solve it, but they won't right now because of these kind of conversations. I mean, people think things that are just incorrect about how the system works. And so we have to have honest conversations about how the system works and like what's driving the debt. You said it's the military. That's not even close to true.
How about,
Not even
how
close.
about why are we paying tariffs?
That's a different. You want to go on the tariffs and like every time I answer one question, it's like playing whack-a-mole with you guys.
You like low taxes, right?
All right, nobody wants to have a reasonable discussion about Social Security. Got it. Let's move on.
So,
Remove the cap.
so
Removing
President,
the cap's not going to solve your problem at all. It's not. The math doesn't even come close to working. Sorry.
so President Trump wants Blackstone out of residential housing to encourage home ownership, not being a renter. How would you change the tax code to make that happen?
Not sure. Good question. Haven't thought about how we would change the tax code to make that happen. That would be. That's something the president came up with. I'm not even sure how we implement this. So I'm not even
I don't
try
know
to
what this
answer.
question means, so I'm gonna just, you'll probably know. So what appropriations can be withheld to get the Senate to either codify or do away with blue slips?
What?
Blue slips. That's what I don't know what blue slips are.
Congressman, that was my question, and that has to go to the appointing of federal judges and federal prosecutors. Yeah, the senator in each state gets to say on, hey, here's our list, you get to choose from this list and this list only, and they can essentially, veto, the president's point. Case in point would be in New Jersey, where the prosecutor was in, she did her 3 or 4 months, however long she could serve, and then she's out. So you have this rotating system of prosecutors that can't bring cases to trial because the judges keep kicking them out, and then Trump can't get his judges in. So I'm just.
I'm not following this issue as closely as you are. You have federal prosecutors?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh,
We'll have
Jesus.
to get more information from you, honestly. It's not
Yes, sir.
incredible.
Thank you.
What's your position regarding Governor Abbott turning voter registration information to the DOJ?
We don't like that.
Government, it's Governor Abbott's prerogative. I don't look more into that. I've never.
No.
He's your governor too, you know.
I mean, my view is that I don't have much information on it. I don't take positions. I know everyone likes to have a really strong opinion on something they don't know a lot about.
Oh, come on.
So if I don't know a lot about a specific issue like that, or these blue slips he's talking about, I'm not going to give you a strong opinion on it because I need more information.
Oh my gosh.
That's the first time.
Oh my gosh.
Clear. He said that.
It's not clear. There's nothing in it. I'm sorry. There's always, look, I've been doing this a long time. There's always a lot more context to any question, to any situation, to any discussion.
Gaslighting!
It's a state issue. It's a state issue. I'm a federal representative. I don't know everything I don't know every move that Governor Abbott makes. I don't. I'm not Governor Abbott's chief of staff or every move that he makes.
I said, this is wild.
Yeah. That's the executive branch.
What? There are lots of things you can do. Do you know, is that like a civics lesson question?
I didn't hear what is the question? I couldn't hear you.
How does Congress check the presidential powers? Well, there's, of course, lots of ways. It depends on.
Apparently not right now.
It depends on the will of Congress. Inaction is action. Our founders would agree with that. Inaction is action. If we want to stop something, we easily could.
You don't want to. Okay.
Because I don't agree with stopping it.
So you're okay with authoritarianism.
I don't agree with stopping it. That's why.
You're okay.
What are you stopping?
So you're okay with authoritarianism.
That's not authoritarianism.
Yeah, it is. Taking away of people's rights, kidnapping.
When it's your guy, you like it, it's all authoritarianism. And when it's not your guy,
your guy is crazy.
It is authoritarianism.
No.
Your guy is a felon. He's a felon.
He's not.
Yeah, he's a convicted felon.
You talk about authoritarianism, and then you reference how Donald Trump is considered a felon.
He is a felon.
He is a sexist assaulter. He assaults women.
Release the Epstein files.
The Congress can have a super majority veto-proof vote, for instance. That's one way. There's a whole bunch of ways. Subpoena powers, oversight, those kind of things, and withhold funding. Those are the basic ways.
Impeachment.
Congress can also impeach. Yes, of course.
Yes.
Are these questions about basic civics, or are these questions about what you want to happen?
Yes. We want you to do your job, which is represent your constituents.
How about yes?
What are your thoughts on National Guard troops being deployed?
What was the end of the question?
Yeah, well,
what was the question?
So, as an honored and decorated member of our military, you understand the importance of its mission. What do you say about our American troops, servicemen and women, and National Guard troops being pulled from their positions to patrol American citizens?
I know.
She
just fucking reread that shit.
Regardless of anything, you are decorated, and I want to thank you for your service when you did serve our nation. My question is, because you have been so honored and decorated, and you've spent some time in the military, you've been injured, you know what the purpose of the military is for threats, but yet they are being deployed in our American cities against our American citizens. And I want to know why you can support that. When you know what you, I'm not going to, can I finish? What I really want to know is that with everything that you have, that you've supported as a serviceman, as a decorated veteran, how you can watch this being happen. So what is your opinion?
I understand the question. I understood. Okay. As far as, if you can give me some other examples that are still ongoing, but I don't think there's any. Tell me of any National Guard troops deployed anywhere besides Washington, D.C.?
Los Angeles.
Los
There's
Angeles.
not, they're not still.
But it-
But they were.
You're
They
due
have-
earlier. Why? You're due earlier.
You said troops specifically, so so the only thing you can possibly refer to is National Guard. Because there are no
And I
active
said, and I did say that.
I understand that, but the thing is there's not like active duty, non-National Guard people.
There were,
Tell me
there
more.
were, because there were. United States Marines from Camp Pendleton
So
were
are we talking about, I was.
Correct.
Los Angeles, it was
Yeah.
a very
Right.
brief moment.
Is that okay?
Even a brief moment is not
I
okay.
want to know what your thoughts were, even then. Okay, so if we're talking about it.
We're not talking about DC, what are we talking about?
We're talking about any instance when it was in. I just want to know,
There's
is my
a
representative,
long history of National Guard
is
being
my
used.
representative,
But not against
how do you
citizens.
feel about the
Used on domestic
military?
soil, yes.
Past,
Not a long
It's actually
history.
how desegregated schools under Eisenhower. I think you're in favor of it.
what is your opinion
My
on that?
opinion of it is it's fine, if it's
It's
used
fine.
in the right ways, it has been, yes. I mean, if the goal is like, you can't have anything if you don't have some basic security. I mean, you guys, we in America have it pretty good, we don't really know what it's like not to have it that good.
Oh, we're learning.
But,
Yeah, we are. We're learning.
are you though?
Yes.
Tell me how your life is suddenly had a massive shift since a year and a half ago.
Because I wake up nauseated every day.
Me too.
I'm skeptical that you've had a downward turn in the last year and a half.
Oh, jeez.
Inflation was 9% under Biden. That was because of
Don't talk about Biden, he's not here anymore.
That's right. We're talking about Trump.
Actually,
Okay?
you pass a bill, we'll call it the American Rescue Plan, we'll call it the Inflation Reduction Act.
Oh,
Pass two
jeez.
of these things, which puts a ton of money into the demand side of things, while also constricting supply, because let's not forget, who constricted supply chains during COVID? Oh yeah, Democrat governor.
COVID, your guy.
Constrict supply. and then
Your guy.
demand side, what do you get?
Your guy was president.
Price increases.
Get back-
Yeah,
back-
basic economics.
That's not the question.
It's not the question.
Make sure your taxes didn't go up.
That's
By
not
the way,
the
what we did for
question.
seniors is make sure you're not even taxed on Social Security.
That's not the question.
Active military to police enforcement, not inflation.
150,000 income.
Answer the question.
Which must be, it's probably
Don't say we don't tax Social Security.
we don't tax it for the middle class,
The
which is
administration is
150,000.
not taxed at all. How about taxes on tips and the other stuff?
How did we get on that topic? You just totally did not answer the
What
question.
happened to the National Guard going in?
Yeah.
Anyway, I've answered it like a dozen different ways.
No, you haven't.
Times. I'm obviously in favor of putting security first and not letting chaos reign.
What chaos? You guys.
That's what I mean.
Woo!
Yeah, not the way
The more secure you are, the fewer freedoms you have.
You are supporting chaos. You're creating it.
Yeah, show me the instance where the National Guard created chaos.
No, your administration.
Show me one instance where the National Guard deployment caused the chaos. Has anyone been to DC recently and seen the results?
Oh, God, they were picking up trash.
Decided that they would support it actually.
How come there's still so much crime in the White House?
Yes.
Did you practice that slogan?
No.
All right, that's right.
How about the Third Amendment and the Fourth Amendment?
Do you believe in the First Amendment? If so, are you supportive of protesters? If not, why?
There you go.
Well, I can be supportive of the First Amendment. I don't have to support you. I have to deem it legal, of course. So yeah, in a legal sense, of course I support you. Do I support what you're doing and how you're disrupting and making sure that nobody else gets to ask questions? No, of course not. But that's my. I don't have to like it. I don't have to like it, but anyway, support doing a lot of things.
Don't have to like it.
I don't have to like it, but it is what it is.
There's a lot of questions about ICE and about funding ICE and about detention centers. So if you want to give a broad view, there's a lot of these are the same questions, just worded differently.
Yeah, people are very upset with ICE.
You think?
Yes, very true. ICE's job is to remove immigrants that have deportation orders.
Wearing masks.
That's a lie.
Well, when people are doxing them, and people are filming them, and
First Amendment.
they're being filmed everywhere they go, and then people are starting fights with them.
That's their job, right?
People starting fights with them.
That's their
So it's not the best situation, or trying to run them over.
Oh, lies.
I don't mean, it's not a matter of belief, it's just what happens, and it's the hospital records show as well.
Making stuff up.
Now,
Gaslighting.
look, we're not, the hospital workers are the agent that was running.
Oh, yeah. He shot that woman in the
I
head.
don't like seeing that either, but why is it in this specific city that people
Dan voted for this.
and do these kind of things? I mean, you guys are wound up, I can see that, but would you really go chase down ICE agents and get into fights with them? I don't think you're those type of people. I don't know what's going on in Minneapolis where they are.
Okay, hang on.
It's a bad idea. And not only that, that's why they're wearing masks, because, yeah. You made the point for me. I wasn't even going to make that point. That's hilarious. And you made it for me. Thank you for doing it. Yeah, I was like, oh, she got her mask up there. I wasn't even going to make the point, but I forgot. Yeah, mask wearers right here.
Yeah, I put mine down.
I'm not arresting anyone.
Put mine down.
That's I know. That's what made me think of it. And why-
We're not arresting anyone. Different reason for this mask.
Anyway, we're gonna keep funding ICE, so I don't know. Really interesting questions.
Keep funding us and let this keep happening. What just happened when you fund us?
Thank you. What is the U.S.
Christy Noam is a murderer.
Chinese electronic warfare being used in the U.S. Collecting public information?
That's all over the place.
I'm reading verbatim. Chinese interference in our government. We can just, I mean, it was.
They bought TikTok. Trump owns it.
Is there a question in there?
What is the U.S. government doing to counter Chinese?
Yeah. All right. So let's go over what China's doing and then what we can do and what we should do. Salt Typhoon, Volt Typhoon, those like kind of funny operational names ring any bells? They were out in the news over the last year or so because we managed to catch them. One in our critical infrastructure type of cyber networks, and another time like in telecommunication networks, and using pretty exquisite cyber tradecraft. If you understand what that means, it means it's very hard to catch them because of the kind of things they're doing. It's amazing we did. And then we made a decision to make it public because it seems like sometimes that's the best way, is to embarrass the Chinese. That gets them to stop and at least try a different way. Lets them know that we're on to them. That's a conscious decision, and that's made depending on what the issue is. Where this becomes a difficult problem is it's fundamentally a question about what you make private sector do. And there's of course cyber safe practices and best standards. And the smaller the company, the harder it is to get them to follow that, and it's unclear how important it is for that particular company to follow that. That's why we have groups like CISA, Critical Infrastructure Security Agency within DHS, something similar on the commerce side, something similar on the FBI side. They all have their roles. It's definitely the thing we worry about the most because it's not obvious how you can't just like have a firewall. There's no such thing in an open society. We have to keep recruiting the best and brightest into places like the NSA and the FBI so that we can actually figure out, do what we need to do with the investigations or the intelligence collection on adversaries that we need to do.
They're canceling all the H-1B visas, which are all the smart people from countries other than the United States who can do this tech.
We're still ahead, I'll say that, pretty much in all fronts. But what separates the Chinese and many of these adversaries is they're simply willing to do things that we're not willing to do. And there's some efforts, I think, to change that. I can't tell you like what necessarily, but there's some things they're willing to do that we're just not willing to, and I think that should change. I heard TikTok getting yelled out. Yeah, that was, I voted to ban TikTok. That was one of the major issues, is that they're not that they're doing anything with it now, but that they have the potential to. And because it was hard to make that case, like a 19-year-old, they're like, I don't care if the Chinese takes all my data, because they don't care. I guess why would you? I get it. Okay, but the problem is it's not so much that you care about your data. It's the fact that that data is power now. That data trains AI algorithms. Those AI algorithms can train your mind. That's how it works. When you got 150 million people addicted to something, it cannot be a tool of the Chinese Communist Party. So that was a very bipartisan vote, and just obviously the news now is that we're finally getting it done. So that's fantastic.
Last question is, do you like your job?
Do you like your job?
No, but the last question I asked, she never got to mine.
No, I know.
The word is ever better.
Yeah, you didn't do all the
Yeah, you're cherry picking.
I'll answer that one last. What was your question about tariffs?
No.
I didn't have
You were yelling about tariffs. What's your question? You got a lot of questions, sir. I'm putting behind you. You got a lot of questions. I'm pointing to the couple behind you. I am pointing to the couple behind you.
How do you feel about democracy?
Pretty good about it. I'm going to the person behind you.
Yeah, all right. Here's the question. This is a question of
Do you live in District 2? What?
That's a
Go ahead, what this is about, District 2.
Ask your question.
Okay.
Here's the question. This is about Congress being a check on presidential power. In the Constitution, Congress has the power of tariffs. Okay, it was modified by some act in the 60s or 70s that gave the president specific authority in emergency situations to enact tariffs. But it did not change the Constitution. This subject is being discussed right now at the Supreme Court. Hope they'll get to the right decision because the Constitution is actually quite clear. It says Congress, not the president, has the power of tariff. Why are you, as a congressman, not taking the president to task over tariffs that don't make sense? Yes. That's your job. Why are you not doing that?
You laid it out pretty well. The Supreme Court's going to decide on how much has gone beyond the scope of the law. Obviously, the presidents have been under Biden as well. They basically kept all Trump's tariffs on. There's bipartisan love of tariffs for whatever reason.
Not the same degree.
No, I'm not answering the question. If you can't hear me, look, if I start speaking within a moment, you start screaming, there's no point answering your questions. I mean, look, Democrats, you guys are all, I love you guys. I miss you.
We're not all Democrats.
Good to have you here. I know you want to cause a ruckus and get Steve Tope elected, because he's going to vote with Democrats in Congress.
We're not all Democrats in this room.
You look, okay.
You don't have a clue. You don't have a clue.
I got an idea.
It may be wrong.
There's no point in answering your question.
And you talk about the big bill,
The big stupid
a lot of
bill.
my coworkers that I work with were union people, and a lot of them voted for Donald Trump because of the no tax on. We're under the National Labor Relations Board, and it seems that Congress has written us right. We don't have any of that. We don't get any benefit
Yes.
from the no tax on.
Right.
All of our overtime is taxed exactly as it was.
Yep.
My taxes are going up.
Yep.
True. That thing that you said about the big beautiful bill.
I said your income taxes don't go up. They would have. They would have gone up a few percentage
Based on
points.
what I just did, mine's going up. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yep.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
the thing I'm wondering is why is
That's
Congress, why didn't you guys include it?
It's not. I don't know. I'm not on the committee that did that. I'm not on the committee that did it because union labor already manages to get itself higher wages by way of unionizing
But why
and
don't we
organized.
just take advantage of the bill?
But that was a decision within Ways and Means. I'm not sure how we came about it.
Advocate for me and my coworkers for that.
But it depends on the price tag on it and whether it's what it's probably not. No.
My overtime, I go to work, I work.
No, the idea was look, unions already have the ability to contract that with the employer. That's why it makes perfect sense. That's the whole reason you unionize. And what it does, there's trade-offs to every action. Being in a union has certain trade-offs to it. Now, one of the trade-offs that benefits you is you definitely have higher wages. The cost of labor is higher. So the trade-off for the taxpayer is the cost of labor is higher. So we're in the contract with you to do things. That's how it works. I understand. Again, I'm not on the committee that had that discussion. I'm trying to explain to you why. You just keep talking about. I'm literally explaining. I'm giving you the philosophy as to why. I'm giving you the philosophy why it didn't happen. You just keep on. It's not. You don't even know what it is because I don't get to say anything. You don't even know what my argument is. I'm telling you how this is.
Let him finish.
I give you an explanation. You just don't like it. Okay. Every time, I mean, you just.
Would you go advocate for me?
I heard you the million. I heard you the first 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9
Well,
times.
acknowledge him.
Wow.
Acknowledge him. Talk to him.
No, yes.
You know, I'm not going to go advocate for more right now. There's no advocating for
Why
more.
don't you let
for
him
on that.
answer your
Like,
question?
yeah,
Don't
geez,
interrupt him, okay? He has a really good answer to your question. Yes, he does, if you would listen.
You just keep talking. You just keep talking.
You're the one talking.
I came here to talk. That's why I'm up here with the mic. And you can ask questions. Once you got your question, you think you want to hear the answer, but you don't want to hear the answer.
What is he gonna try to?
All right. What's the time right now? What does that mean?
I'm at a question for this.
This girl.
Hello, Christina has a question.
Stay back at you. I'll let you talk and everything.
Good problem. Okay, that's a good problem. That's good, but when nobody else will, that's the problem. All right.
Let her ask a question.
Don't say anything.
Stand out.
Okay. Don't ask me, baby. It's real.
Stop.
So, I just want to know, do you acknowledge the fact that the illegal immigrants pay billions in taxes annually and commit enough crime per capita? And if so, why not offer more population citizenship?
All right, let me say the question so we hear it. Something about acknowledging whether they commit crimes per capita.
They pay taxes.
What's the third part?
Just so why not offer more population citizenship?
All right, so I'd look into the crime statistics on whether they commit more crimes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they've already actually 100% of them committed crimes because they're here illegally.
It's a misdemeanor.
That's the actual answer.
It's a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor. They don't serve food on the net. The definition.
The reason that people get so upset, even if it's true that it's like the per capita basis is lower, it doesn't matter because the idea that people have is, and rightfully so, is that they shouldn't have been here in the first place to commit that horrible crime. That statistic is of no consolation to Jocelyn and his family. They're not consoled.
What? Oh no, you're off topic.
And so when you've already broken one law,
You're off topic.
a second, that's obviously way more heinous than the first, but still, nonetheless, another broken law. Of course, people very much have a right to be very emotional about that. Okay, the second part was the other issue you raised. Of course, they're paying taxes like sales tax, that kind of thing. It's not.
What about ISIN number and everything?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It really
They do
depends
a
on
lot.
what they're doing.
Billions.
Okay, but it also doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is you have to have you're either a system of laws or you're not. All right, we posted a great speech by President Barack Obama that he did in 2010 when he was making the case for. He deported twice as many people as Trump got to.
3 million.
Twice as many. He did a great job. And he made a great argument for it too. He's like, look,
And nobody got killed.
of laws or you're not. Like we have to enforce these laws or we don't. It's crazy not to. And you can have compassion for people, but you also have to have compassion for the many millions around the world that are waiting in line legally. That's what it's not fair to them.
Compassion!
Like so many others get to cut the line, they get to mess with the system. It is not fair to them.
But that's why
Either.
my question was, why not offer those pathways since these people are paying taxes?
They shouldn't be
and
incentivized
So ultimately a question
they are
of
breaking the
like,
law. Most of them are civil violations because most of them are visa overstay. They're not crossing the border.
Violation.
hey,
Let
stop,
him
stop.
talk.
He's a
I need help.
Sorry,
I need
you're
help.
right.
Look, if you want to advocate for very specific policy changes, whether it's changes in the number of visas we give out, certain types, sure, but I'm not sure you're asking about that. I think you're asking about the people already here.
Yes.
So they get like an extra benefit now, right? So they get to cut the line, and again, forget about people who try to do it legally all over the world. Forget about them. I guess by the mere fact that you're able to cross the border, or just overstay your visa, now you get another additional legal benefit. No, now that really incentivizes more people to break that initial law. That's the problem with doing that. And when you've been flooded like we have, people just aren't going to. You're just realistically, even if I did agree with that, which I don't, you're not going to get the votes for it. You're just not going to get it. It's just sorry, just the way it is. It doesn't mean we can't have reasonable conversations about what to do with future visas. But it's not going to involve just amnesty for people here. By the way, they can reapply, but they do have to leave the country when they do it. That was what was intended. You should have done it on time.
Well, what about DHS or whatever? They're telling them their court thing has been changed.
Agency.
Yeah, but
DHS.
they're catching them at the freaking
Courthouse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Schedule a court appointment.
And people that are
Right.
actually following the rules.
Right.
Are the ones that were pulled out when they were getting ready to
Right.
take their oath.
Right.
Somebody who hasn't been able to talk over there. Oh, you got your hand up.
He's just ignoring us. See, we got him, guys.
I don't know.
Good for
Now
you.
it's all different people out there. You got your hand up the whole time. Do you?
Quick question, just with all the events in Minneapolis, I'm just wondering, do you feel like there's any changes need to be made with how the agents there interact with the civilians while they're protesting?
Yeah, I agree with the White House is already making those changes. You're seeing it happen. So, and I think that's probably the right thing to do. Just tone it back a little, tone it down a little bit, change tactics somehow.
How about pulling them out?
It's a very escalatory issue at the moment. But again, it's the protesters there. I know you guys think you're well organized through cars and stuff, but you're not like these folks. And I don't think you would do what these guys are doing. They are following cars, they're reading license plates, they're chasing these agents around the city, they're calling back into a headquarters, and they think they're playing Call of Duty or something.
That's what those guys said, not the
They're all using
protesters.
call signs, and then they're getting into fights with these agents carrying a gun. It's not a good plan.
Who carried a gun? Who was carrying a gun getting into a fight? Who? Give a name.
Unfortunately, the last
Give
time
a
you got killed,
name.
which is probably what
He was not in a fight with those people.
And he didn't draw his weapon.
They pulled his gun and they shot him in the back of the friggin' head. They murdered him. He had a right to have that gun. He was murdered.
We got you.
No, you don't.
Do you believe the 2020 election was stolen? Second part is, can you explain to us why why the FBI seized the voting records in Fulton County?
Yes, that was my question.
Yeah, I don't think my record's pretty clear in 2020. I don't see, what I've always said, if it being stolen, I would say stolen in the sense of media bias, in the sense that I think COVID had a massive destructive force on the presidency, and I think unfairly so.
So
I think.
no?
How?
No, I don't have evidence. I don't have any evidence.
What would COVID have to do with the election?
Voter fraud. I have a lot of evidence for individual voter fraud. It does happen. But
Rarely?
no, it's not rare. It's just hard to catch. It depends on the laws. In Texas, it would be easier to catch, and other places it would be very difficult to catch because the laws are crappy. And that's still an issue that needs to change. I mean,
Yep.
you have to know that your vote counts. And I would think that's something we can all agree on. I mean, 80% of the public agrees with voter rights. And many states don't even have that. It's crazy. I mean, you're saying, how on earth? It's ridiculous. In California, you can just go and just say a name, and they just look it up, make sure it's in that particular precinct. That's how you vote.
How do you know that?
Because I lived there for 10 years. So, you know,
Or you can pay people.
So the second question, I don't have any information on that. So I just have no information on it. You know as much as I do about it. So yeah, do that. They might have some evidence, right? They must have a warrant. So I would presume that until I see otherwise.
I think they're going to miraculously find enough votes for Trump to have won by some miracle. Throw down
I
evidence.
don't think we're into that. No.
The FBI will find those votes
It was
somehow.
not yelled.
Why are people that are going through legal process or are U.S. citizens being detained in detention?
Yes.
I can't speak to each and every case. Again, I'm not part of the executive branch, so I can't speak to every time how the laws are being executed. I know you want me to, but I can't. I won't speak on things that I don't have all the details on.
Well, some of your colleagues do.
You're stating a generality, and you're expecting me to know the specific cases.
Oh, God.
Of the individual. Of course, I don't. So I can't possibly answer.
Watch it's happening. Such an asshole.
I'm a 40-year trial attorney. I've handled pro bono immigration to try to help people get legal, and for everyone, a civics lesson very briefly. If you are here on a political asylum appeal, you are legally here.
Right.
Congressman, and generally, you need to be aware of what's going on.
Right.
When they pluck those people off the streets, if they are legally here, and especially if they're citizens, that is a constitutional violation.
Yes.
That's correct.
Being a judge doesn't make it does not change a single thing. Because you haven't done this, you haven't specified a single case.
I'm going to give you just some generalities because I want to ask you.
Generalities are not useful here, are they?
With their attention, your attorneys, you need to educate yourself on these
I'm pretty educated on this topic.
You just said that you weren't. Be quiet, Dan. Let her finish.
You go on your own time. Are you elected official? You just said you're a judge. I mean, I think just. Okay. All right. All right. You're not really respectful. We'll go to the next question. No.
Oh,
Don't vote for this guy.
Trust me. Maybe you don't have a question. You just want to have your own town hall. Well, I'm not letting you finish. It's a long speech.
What is the moderate Republican group in Congress doing to try to keep the constitutional violations under check?
nothing.
Nothing.
Thank you. Again, you haven't stated one specific case of an actual violation. You're speaking generally.
Oh, there's plenty.
How long is it supposed to just accept your fact if you can't?
What a jerk. God almighty.
Crenshaw, thank you so much for your consistent support towards the Venezuelan people and standing against the Maduro dictatorship. So, in a future democratic...
They don't know what to do with that, do they?
We're letting him finish.
This is Trump.
In a future democratic Venezuela, how do you see Texas building a market-driven partnership that is mutually beneficial to our countries?
Right. What about that money in Qatar?
Stop, you guys. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Didn't Trump steal it?
Trump's putting Qatar money.
You guys are so disrespectful. It's just, you can't even respect a simple question from a guy.
Neither can you.
You know, so you asked a very specific question, how the relationship between Texas and Venezuela. Well, of course, ideally we go right back to the relationship we used to have, which is a pretty strong one. It is because of the economy, it's because of the oil and gas sector.
It's because of Trump.
We lived there, our parents moved there after I left high school, to go to college. We moved from Bogota to Caracas. I've been to Caracas a whole number of times. And quite the difference back then and now. So the goal is a future that looks like the past, really. It was the fourth most richest country in the world. It was quite the place. So there is a path forward on this, and that operation was one of the most amazing, probably the most complex we've had, maybe in history. It was an operation too that we also learned a lot of lessons. I mean, what's the basic lesson you need to learn from Iraq? It's the most basic lesson. It's that deep application is a bad idea. And I know that too. So the Ba'ath Party was Saddam Hussein's party. It means firing everyone from government. It's a bad idea. It caused us a lot of headaches.
You mean like Trump did?
And that's something we actually learned here and in a much more precise targeted operation, an actual judicial operation. So, and now the current government's cooperating pretty nicely as far as we can tell.
It's the same government.
Are right on their way here at the moment. And I hear giggling like this is a bad thing.
It's the same government.
Yeah, no, it is the same government.
And we're taking money from the Venezuelans and putting it in an account in Qatar. What's about that?
I'm not sure what you want. You put it in a third-party account as a matter of...
In the United States.
Anyway, it's a good thing for everyone, whether you're Republican or Democrat.
Bullshit.
So it's totally a bipartisan issue. It should be anyway. Again, unless Democrats want to defend Maduro, does anyone want to defend Maduro?
We don't like the kidnapping.
If you wish you to still in power, you don't think Trump should have gotten out? You don't?
Trump.
Well, we all agree.
It's illegal.
So you think he should still in power? You just don't want to raise your hand.
We wasn't pressed to do it.
Okay, it's one or the other. It's a yes or no question. It's one or the other.
You didn't have a black and white answer for your immigration question.
Right?
It's not black and white. It's not black and white.
It's not black and white from the comfort of your living room, but it is black and white in the real world.
Well, apparently you're all over the gray area too.
Who's in charge or not is absolutely black and white. It's a yes or no question for Venezuelans right now. It is not black and white from the comfort behind your phone, scrolling. There it's good. There, yeah, you're right.
My family's from Mexico.
In the real world, it is black and white.
Not black and white.
All right. So we gotta go get another event.
Are you in the Epstein files?
We'll go. Too young it is. That's funny.
The little guy.
We had a question.
Right there.
Little man.
We have time.
Come on, let him ask a
This will
question.
be the last one. Sure.
Who was your favorite U.S. president of all time?
Let me guess.
We couldn't hear.
Favorite U.S. president of all times.
Don't say it.
Easy one.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
My easy answer favorites. I'm going to give you a few, just because it's like there's different reasons for liking different presidents. Ronald Reagan to me is like he's the modern conservative communicator. He really revived modern conservatism. Abraham Lincoln, well, he's the birth of the Republican Party. The Republican Party was
not your Republican Party.
How do they always do this?
They do it.
That was obviously a lot in between. Eisenhower was the one who sent in the troops to desegregate schools.
No, I will go for that.
Calvin Coolidge doesn't get nearly enough credit as like the ultimate small government conservative. And he's blamed for a lot of things. He's one of the smartest presidents we've ever had. So there's a long list of like really good, interesting presidents that did really hard. FDR's a Democrat, did a lot of things I don't like, but he had the guts to stand up alongside the British, stand up against very unpopular public opinion about going in and actually taking on Hitler. So I think
take on Trump.
The proper way to think about your presidents and any figures is you don't just pick one. I think you should pick a bunch of different things that you like about different people, and you aggregate that into what your perfect person looks like, even if it's not real. Because the only perfect person is who? Jesus.
Oh,
all right. So. Good question. So I'll leave it there. Thank you all for your civic mindedness and your engagement. It has been fun. I still, what we did is I do still like the job. As to that other question, the job is really better because we're actually doing it. I'm in the position to actually get those kind of things done. Even the kind of things that there's some things you guys don't like, but there's some things you definitely do like. And I mentioned all the issues in the beginning. What we can't do is start over on a lot of that. And that's why we're going to keep moving forward, because we still have a lot of good work to do.
Forward with
Most of the
fascism.
issues they would actually all agree on. Appreciate y'all being here, and we'll go from there. Thank you all.
Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files.
Immigration cases every day. I handle his constituents.
Defund DHS.
That they like have those the 601, you know what I'm talking about, the waivers. So we help with those. That's what I do as a caseworker for the congressman. So they do have those routes, but I mean, if you come into the country, which I may be telling you something that you already know and you're already educated on, but a lot of people aren't. So like there's paths. So if you come into the country through a port, like on a visitor visa, and you overstay, and you know whatever, or like if you're a doctor or whatever, there is a pathway to become a legal permanent resident. It's super expensive and it's timely, but there is a pathway to do that. You have to use an attorney, and you know sometimes we're able to help make sure they have the information that they need. They are lengthy processes, but that is possible in congressional offices, not just his, but all congressional offices and senators. They do help with those. Now the caveat is if a person comes into the country without inspection, if they don't come through a port, then they have to leave the country and go back to their home country. Sometimes it's a 10-year. You can even get waivers for that. It depends on how long you're in the country when you overstay. If it's a year or 3 years, it could be a 3-year bar or a 10-year, or sometimes it's permanent. But there are waivers to overcome that, because I've personally helped people overcome those. So there are ways to do it, and he supports that. He has immigrants in his family, but he also doesn't want to reward people that knowingly broke the law coming into it. That's why I was like, coming into the country, you are, like, we can all agree, if you come into the country without a visa, that you have some legal status, you are breaking the law. And if you give people a path from that, then you're incentivizing other people to come into the country the same way, because they think, well, I'm going to get another path. Because I think Bush did amnesty. I think
Reagan did too.
Reagan did too. So
For the Salvadorans.
Yeah.
But listen, some people are getting picked up that are here on asylum visas, like that attorney said. My ex-husband came here from Romania, communist Romania, and he was
Russians too.
Yes, and he was here on asylum. He is a naturalized citizen now, and now I'm concerned that he is going to have that revoked. Okay, but he's white, so I don't think I think some of it is. I think some of it is.
Like, for example, just recently, Trump gave Nicki Minaj a free gold card.
Right.
She came here legally herself. So it's incentivizing.
You're right.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong, and he's selling those visas, and you know that.
But it's just if he has to stay on that one side of the aisle instead of flipping back and forth.
Right, you can't. So you don't want to incentivize people for breaking the law. But we still, if there is a path, if there is a way, we do have contacts in those agencies that we do help.
Right.
And every member's office does that. That's what I do as a director of constituent services for him. He's not anti-immigration at all. He's not. He's
wife's an immigrant. Granny, right?
Yes,
She's the one that actually helped us after that legal immigration process. A nightmare.
Yeah.
We're years stuck in this.
I know.
It's a mess. Finally, we reached out. I put off congressman stuff.
I understand. It took my ex-husband 10 years, and it was Mickey Leland who was my congressman at the time. He is deceased. But I had to write him a letter, and he went through INS. This is back in the 80s, right? Well, she asked a question about how to make it simpler.
The ICE stuff in Minnesota, I think is absolutely disgusting.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's awful.
I think both sides need to step back on that, because I think the protesters are just being completely disrespectful to the agents, and the agents are there because the protesters are out of control.
No.
The local police, no, they are. Yeah, it's crazy. It's bad on both sides.
Right?
It is. It's bad on both sides, and that's just my own. I'm not speaking for the Congress. That's
inside. Like, that's
Trump
just
had
me.
a reaction to like the crazy
I think it's wild,
woke
yeah.
stuff that everyone's annoyed with.
It's wild. I think that people should respect the police, and the local police should be helping ICE do their jobs by taking
No, not the way they're doing it.
It has to be done right.
They're not doing it right, okay?
I was making the police people look good. Like regular police officers look good compared to us. That's
They
how
do.
crazy
It is crazy.
Police.
I understand.
It's wild.
It's awful. It is.
I'm sorry, I was going through my story. Yeah.
But the militarization of it is what I was. It bothers me a
They're
lot.
federal law enforcement.
They're federal.
They are not federal law enforcement. They are not. They are not law enforcement.
Do they need to go out there armed? Do they need to go out there armed like they're going to each other? No, they don't.
No. It pisses people off.
They have to be able to.
No.
That has escalated the situation a lot more than any
I think both sides need to. I think both sides need to.
Yeah, well, what would de-escalate the most?
The mask thing though keeps the accountability of that. That's the problem. Like, keep the mask on. Like, I know there's not.
Exactly. But if you
Yep.
take the mask off and they're following them and they're.
But then there's.
Oh, come on.
You just yell at them, trying to be nice.
I know, but come on. I have a loud voice. Sorry.
That you feel you have to hide.
Yeah. Regular cops don't mask up. Neither does our military.
No. I was going to say, so you can pass it on.
Oh no, keep those.
And the detention camps are putting them in.
I know.
Detention camps.
Did you? Yeah, he's out the hill country now. Yeah. He's getting to see his grandbabies more. He's loving it.
But detention centers, that's what gets me. They pick these people up, they just disappear. And they take them to these detention centers where they're not taking care of these people. 5-year-olds?
That's true, and they're not letting the congressman
To inspect.
I can't speak to that. I haven't been to one, but he does care, and we are trying to help people. And I mean, I do it on a daily basis. That's really my job.
They're ages of his child, so they ought to, he ought to put some more into it
Well,
to check those things.
I don't quote me on this, but I think HHS is the one that's in charge of the centers, and to provide the care and everything for them. So
It ain't happening, so why wouldn't he have to?
HHS.
Oh, HHS.
Yeah.
So he needs to apply what pressure he can give.
Oversight. I mean, we're asking for oversight.
That's what we're asking for. Is just give them a break. Like if they have a court date, that's crap. If they catch them and tell them that their court date's been canceled. I mean, really.
Yeah, can't speak to it. That's the problem.
No, I don't.
This was wild.
That makes me mad.
Yeah, I know. It's bullshit. And he evades questions like,
Oh yeah.
it's unbelievable. It is. He thinks it's funny.
Yeah. Well, the guy behind me, I tell you,
That guy was off the rails.
he was a piece of work.
Yeah, he was.
And I said, Trump has dementia. He goes, oh right, and Biden didn't.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, but Biden's not our president anymore.
No, he's not. And he wasn't doing half this weird shit.
Even run for re-election.
That's what I said.
Right.
Biden didn't try to take over the country, did he?
No, he did not.
Yeah, to their perspective, he did.
No.
Well, no.
Oh my God. Anyway,
Not even an inch like this guy.
what happened to Vicky? Holy crap.
I guess we'll be on the list.
Oh, well, for
He
sure.
was over there taking pictures.
Well, it's okay. He knows us because we protest on the corner every week.
I went and shook his hand.
Did you, bro?
Yeah, it said that I told him I was sitting on that side.
On the side.
I said, but I wanted to thank you for coming out and talking to us and having a town hall and getting up here.
Right.
Regardless of what he says.
Right. True.
Yeah, because he wouldn't do it before.
And
I know.
a lot of people that were really mad.
Yep.
Make that much effect on him, but what else can we do?
This is all we can do.
Do we really think that we're going to bring him in here and we're going to convince him know.
No.
But maybe we can start him.
I think he was nervous. Yeah.
Maybe it's not gerrymandering. I think it probably is, but.
Yeah, maybe not. All right. I think I can safely turn this camera off. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll wait till I'm in my car. That guy that was sitting behind you is pretty riled up.
There's a guy that came up to another fellow and he said, like, are you with George Soros? The guy kind of goes, no, because George Soros should be up.
Oh my God, I missed that.
Oh, okay. I mean, what are you going to do when you got people like that?
That's insane. Well, people are really disappointing.
I think that there was very strong support for him in this.
No, he's pretty wild. I didn't expect it. I thought it was only going to be our little section. It was widespread.
The union guy was articulate, finishing it out and trying to answer the question.
I know, he wouldn't let the guy finish. Yeah, that was a shame he didn't let the guy finish. I wanted to hear what he said. And
it was a lame response to the immigration attorney.
Oh, man. And then, oh, my God, that was the worst. Well, I have it all on video. It was the worst. Yeah, that was very disrespectful. He's very arrogant. Always has been.
That's a politician thing, you know?
Yep. What are you doing?
I'm just filming.
They're stopping him.
My person today, too. How many chairs do you have?
Trash. Oops. I'm not going to quit recording till I leave. Amy.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I'm so loud.
Okay.
No, I wasn't
it's
yelling
okay.
at you. Okay. I have this mask on and and the acoustics in here suck. And I was a school teacher and I'm loud.
It's
I wasn't
It's okay.
Meaningfully yelling
That's
at
okay.
you.
Thank you. I know people get passionate about this, and everybody has their own, and everybody has their own perspective. But I mean, I know y'all agree philosophically on different things, but he truly is a good man and truly is trying to do good things for our district and our state. But
he's a Trump bootlicker, though, and Trump is a dangerous person.
Not 100%.
Well, then he needs to speak out about
he
that.
He will when there are things that he disagrees with.
Well, apparently he agrees with this fascist takeover of our country. It's
Thank
a
you guys for coming.
concern. Well, thanks for doing this.
Yes, we do appreciate you coming.
Yeah, even though we have red parts, but that's okay. We'll be back to the next one.
100% ever.
Well, it's a democracy.
Let me tell you one
so far.
I passionately disagree with that makes my heart sink and makes me sick to my stomach when he says it. When talking about the double tap.
Yeah.
Of course we killed them.
The what?
The double tap.
When they were blowing up the boats.
Boat where the guys were hanging onto the boat for dear life, and the drums came back through and strafed and killed them. And they were talking about you don't do that and you pick up your survivors. During
He was talking from his perspective when he was a SEAL.
He was in SEAL.
And that's his. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, you see people down there, you don't go back and go, oh, well, let's go stop and pick them up. He said, of course you killed them. I don't.
Not a good look.
It's, I mean, I get where it's coming from too.
It's not a good look, though.
I'll share it.
Yeah.
We've got him on video.
Well, he's not going to lie. He did say he was on social media. I mean, he's not denying that.
That turned me completely upside down.
Yep.
Because he said it.
I come from a military family. I grew up on Air Force bases. My dad was a chief master sergeant during the Vietnam War, and I have pretty strong feelings about some of this. My stepson is an Air Force pilot. He's in Afghanistan. He's been in South Korea. I have strong opinions. He flew F-15 bombers. He's killed a lot of people in his airplane. And it's not okay to say, yeah, we just go in and kill them. It's just not okay. It doesn't make the public feel pretty good.
No, I get that. And part of that is his SEAL humor. I mean,
it's not humorous.
It's not. It's his matter of fact. It's not humorous. That's the wrong word. It's not that. But he does have a different stance from his experience.
Let me tell you the other thing.
He needs to understand understand his audience.
It made me sick to my stomach. Again, he posted this really horrible joke. He reposted it on Instagram.
Oh God, yeah. After the Renee Good killing, yeah. It was
the new bird of Minnesota.
New state bird of Minnesota is screaming lesbians.
Screaming lesbian Karen.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, very tasteless. That woman was murdered.
It was right after Renee Good was murdered. She was lesbian. She reposted this joke and said it's the new state bird of Minnesota is the screaming lesbian Karen.
So what office do you work out of?
I'm out of the Woodlands, but so I'm training a new staff right now, and then once I get her trained, I'll go into the Kingwood office. So.
Yeah, I thought you were in Kingwood when Ted Poe was in office, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I dealt with you.
That was the only office we had, was the one.
Right, I dealt with you way back then when Ted was in office.
Yeah.
We'd been in there a couple of times to talk, but yeah. So anyway, I'm Cindy. I'm with the Indivisible group in Kingwood. So we're the ones that make all the noise on the street corner.
That's okay.
All right, let's go.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Christy Nome.
Probably a Republican.
She was over here talking mess about us, and then remember she told me to take off my mask, so she really pissed me off.
Oh, that Hispanic woman?
Yeah.
Well, he had to shut her up a couple times.
I know. He told her when she was telling me to take off my mask. She was like, "Stop it." So I'm glad he at least defended me against that.
He did more than once.
You just can't win. Well, it's not about.
That's the crazy man. I was afraid he was going to do something to me. So my camera is still filming.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
All of our country's problems, from polarization to ignorance on domestic and international issues to a complete misunderstanding of our economic and healthcare systems, are a direct result of a derelict mainstream media that too often bend over backwards to support corporate or bought politicians' wants as opposed to the people's needs for real information to make their lives better. Independent media is the only solution to inform truthfully and factually. Why? Because our loyalties are to you, the ones who fund us with small dollar contributions and subscriptions. Please consider supporting our independent media platforms by subscribing to our Egberto Off the Record newsletter at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. Again, that is politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. It's an investment that pays incalculable dividends.